Let's freaking go, Arkansas fans. You know, you know I love you. You know, but it's time. Normally, close game luck corrects itself, but not with Sam Pittman. But maybe this is bigger than Sam Pittman. Maybe this is Coach Musselman to where you were last year with Coach Cal, to Dave Van Horn losing the way that he's lost games in baseball. You're just cursed. Every single team in every single league is 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 cursed. You're cursed. Okay? That was the worst holding call in all of my years doing college football media that I have ever seen. It really was that bad. And now you are in a spot where you cannot continue with Sam Pittman as a head coach. You simply cannot do it. I, as an Arkansas fan, don't know if you could watch if I were an Arkansas fan. I'm married to one. All my friends live in Fayetteville, and in Conway and in Little Rock, and shout out the 870 Union County. Uh, I I I want you guys to be able to have life. I want you to be able to enjoy the soil you walk on. But this is bigger than Sam Pittman. This is bigger than Sam Pittman. You're just cursed. That's all there is to it. I wish there was something else I could tell you. I wish. Some of it is the hex that is on your program. It's not my call. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. Now, I won't be live for that long. I've already done my film study from this game. I do think Bobby Petrino should be your next head coach. I do. He is calling plays at a level I think is even surpassed when he was winning 10 games a year at Arkansas. That's how good of a game he called today. But Taylon Green was phenomenal outside of two really bad interceptions, and they were indeed really bad. But I don't know why Jalen Brown continues to play. It is perplexing to me that they even went and got him from the transfer portal. I have no idea. It might not have been his fault, but coming out of a timeout, you should never have 12 players break the huddle. And he was the 12th player. So it was either the receivers coach or Sam or Bobby told Jalen to be on the field when he shouldn't have, or he was out there for whatever reason and he makes another critical error. I've tried. Okay. But the interceptions were key. It's hard to really blame Mike Washington for a really good punch out right there, but you can't fumble the ball. I will also say he was tired, right? It's hard carrying the load for the entire drive, which he was doing. But you're right there for the game-winning field goal, and you could get into the strategy of just playing for the field goal and not doing anything else in that spot, or you could, just go for the touchdown. I think you should have gone for the touchdown the way you were running the ball. So I was fine with Arkansas's decision. Now, if my field goal kicker was Cam Little, well, that's probably not the best reference. We all remember the A&M game. I do think you just need to go for the touchdown, even though the math says in that spot you should just play for the field goal, the game winner. Okay. So I wanted to get through all the calamitous things that actually happen in this game. I also wanted to be clear that Sam Pittman cannot remain the head coach of this football program. He doesn't really do anything on the sidelines, if you ever watched. But I want to save a scorcher of a take. All right. Players have bad games. Last year versus UAB, Danico Slaughter had the worst game I have ever seen an Arkansas defensive back have. And that is really saying something last year versus UAB. Xavier Sorey, who ironically is also, I believe, a transfer from Tennessee, had that type of game, but worse. Now, we could talk about the defense as a whole for Arkansas sucking today. We can. But Xavier Sori was so ass in this game. I want this to be clipped to the high heavens because I hate saying this about one individual player. But he's an experienced player. He was a guy that everyone pointed to as one of the few players on this defense that you would consider to be good. Now, there were some bright spots for the Arkansas defense. Quincy Rhodes had another great game. And as many of you know, we were really high on Quincy Rhodes going into the season. But Xavier Sori, that was awful. The back seven for this Arkansas defense in particular was so unfreaking believably bad. They were so poorly coached. They were so poorly mismanaged. If I was Ole Miss watching this game, I'm questioning everything we did versus that defense. I will also say where I would defend this defense and one area where you can exploit moving forward, it's really hard to go back-to-back on the road in the SEC. Memphis is not an SEC team. I totally get it. You were 7-point favorites in this game. But this was the second consecutive road game. Part of this is scheduling. Now, I understand. You're going to get Memphis at home twice. That is on the books. That's part of the trade-off. You play this one road game, you get two at home. It was a shitty decision to schedule Memphis. I said it before the season. So dumb. You should never, ever, ever go on the road to play a group of 5 team, especially one in such close proximity, because you got to play the same Memphis team twice. They're good. They've been good. Different head coaches, one of which is from Arkansas. It was so dumb to schedule this game. At Arkansas, when you're already punching up, okay, you're already punching up in the SEC. You don't have to play arguably the best group of 5 program, which is Memphis. Now, that's probably Boise State, but that's just semantics. Get freaking Norfolk State on the schedule. Pull in Indiana. Nobody gives a flying shit if you would have beaten Memphis today. But everybody cares that you lost. That is silly. Don't you think Memphis fans are going to travel well to Fayetteville? It's so dumb. It's so dumb to schedule this game. So, yes, the Arkansas defense is ass. But you don't help yourself scheduling back-to-back road games. Well, Carter, you don't have full reign on your schedule. Yeah, you do. You don't have to schedule Memphis. It was stupid. It was so dumb. Okay? I'm not an Arkansas live stream guy. Other than Mondays at 5, I'm the Arkansas film study guy. The film study for this game is already up. Bobby Petrino was so good in this game. But while I was cutting the film study, you'll see at the end, I'm mostly focused on the first half plays. You'll hear me say that this game is starting to get calamitous. And it was. It was. Let's go to Chris. No fire from the secondary, no pursuit. They just jogged. I will say, per my sources, I'm not Mr. Source. Okay? It's not me. Trey Biddy, Andrew Hutchinson, they're the ones with the sources, not me. Okay? But I did hear that things were a little lethargic from the Memphis collapse from a week ago. Okay? Take that for what it's worth. All right? But I'll take a few more. I can't go live for a long time because I got a bunch of other stuff I do need to do, including I think you guys are going to want an Arkansas defensive film study. But man, dude, I just feel so bad for you guys. I'm not placating to you. I'm not. Okay? Literally. I am in one group chat. Now I have my LSU group chat for my LSU channel, which is, a big priority for me on Power Hour LSU. The only other group chat I am in is a group chat where I am the only LSU fan in there, the only LSU graduate in there. The other person in the group chat is a Memphis graduate. Okay. It's 12 other Arkansas graduates. That's it. They're not saying anything. They're used to it. Like a lot of you Arkansas fans. I feel terrible. If this had happened to LSU, or if I was a Mississippi State fan and this happened to you, we would be outraged. But you're an Arkansas fan. You're used to it. This is the norm. I'm telling you. It's bigger than you. But here's a funny thing, Frank. Y'all are going to be one of the highest ranked 2-2 teams in terms of analytics, because analytics does heavily shade towards offense. Your offense is still elite. And you don't lose this game if the worst holding call in the history of football doesn't happen. You win the game. You score a touchdown on the next play, and then it's night for Memphis. So, it's not anything. It's really not anything revolutionary what I'm saying, but it's true. You still shouldn't have lost this game. It still shouldn't have been close. But understand, you're making things more difficult from your schedule to your defensive calls. There were it was mostly bad defensive play, but there were also some really bad defensive calls in this game. And you do have to wonder, what's the next step for the Arkansas defensive coaching with T. Will? Obviously, he should remain the play caller the rest of the year. And I wouldn't take his play calling responsibilities away, because he is recruiting at such a high level for you. And what's the point now? Okay. But this was a bad defensive showing. And look, I understand this is something that's just bigger to me than it is to anyone else. You have got to start really considering who your single digits are. I hate seeing single digit numbers on bad players. Stop it. Not everybody needs to wear number 1. All right. Where's Charlie Collins? They gave him a single digit right away. He is doing nothing. The only guys out there worth the damn are guys that are wearing their traditional numbers. Number 97, Quincy Rhodes. Xavier Sori got number 10. Put him in number 46 next week. If you play bad, take off the lower digit numbers and give it to guys that deserve it. Larry Worth, final play of the game, just sticks his shoulder in there. It was the worst IQ tackling performance I can remember. And I will tell you, one of the worst beats was that first quarter play where Memphis scored right before the end of the quarter. That should have been tackled, and then the play clock would have run out, or the game clock would have ran out, and you would have won your first quarter bad. But seriously, I'm putting a defensive player can wear any number. I'm putting all my starters in number 36, 37, 38, the most oblonged, nobody wants jersey numbers imaginable. Take those off. You're not worthy of it. You know who else agrees with me on this? Deion Sanders. I know he's not the most popular guy. I disagree with Deion on a lot of stuff. But if you wear a lower digit number, do something. It's the numbers that everybody wants on the team. And then I will also say this. I know many people are saying Petrino should be the head coach. I said this at halftime. I did a film study at halftime before the game even ended. Now, another thing. The final touchdown before the end of the half should have been offensive pass interference. It should have been. Okay? Now, I understand this is, we've talked all the major things. This is what could get me in trouble. Get me in trouble. I got a lot of people in the referee community that support us. Okay, because I'm not Mr. Referee guy. But let's go to C Love here. Let's get nefarious. Why not? Let's get tinfoil hatty here. I don't know where the referees were from. That should have been offensive pass interference, and that shouldn't have been a holding call. Those were two huge calls in the game. We're not just talking it would have been the difference between a 5-yard gain and a 10-yard loss kind of thing. We're talking about two plays that were touchdowns. So you had the touchdown at the end of the second quarter. That should have been offensive pass interference. And then you had the holding call on Taylor Green's run. All right. So SEC StatCat just tweeted this out. Arkansas lost to a group of 5 team despite a 50% offensive success rate and a fifth of their snaps generating an explosive play. You shouldn't lose those kinds of games, but Arkansas finds a way to lose it. Sam Pittman finds a way to lose it. Now, there is a financial incentive for Memphis to win this game, and I'll leave it at that. The College Football Playoff Committee does not want group of 5 teams in their playoff. It does nothing for their ratings. But here you have Memphis, all right, which is in an NBA market. It's not an elite size market. You have Memphis in a college football crazed state of Tennessee, a great sports state. If Memphis is unbeaten, they're going to get the group of 5 slot. Okay? I'm just saying. There were some weird calls in this game. Some weird calls. Now, I do think Arkansas got away with a few holds on the Braylon Russell touchdown run. I think there was a few. But I just want to put that out there. 2 weeks in a row, you fumble on a game-winning drive. Yeah. Crazy. Put Oklahoma on. Arkansas fans, I know I'm an LSU guy. I know. But you guys have welcomed me as one of yours. I call Arkansas high school football games, played high school football in the state of Arkansas. Whether you're in Alma, whether you're in Dardanelle, Center Ridge, Jonesboro, well, they don't count. Norflet, West Memphis. I don't care. I love you. I'm pulling for you. I would like to say this shall pass. It'll never pass until it actually happens. Okay. Jack, I would put your comments. I would put your comment up, but I can't put the S word up. Can't do that. YouTube says that's a no-no. But this is an Arkansas film review channel. We do go live every Monday at 5 p.m. though, and I do think my live shows are the best. I do. There's a lot of good ones out there. Yeah, the refs did cheat you guys today. I will say that. But then again, it gets back into scheduling. When you go on the road, you have to really beat teams when you're on the road. I mean, you've got to choke them out and hide the body. I'm not just talking about pillow over face. You've got to Dexter Morgan them. No. But then again, I've been saying that since after the Missouri game from 3 years ago. Hey, thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I also think that's the best Razorback, by the way, the one that Jack has in his logo. I gotta ask when the next time I'll be in Fayetteville. I don't know if I'm gonna be in Fayetteville this football season. Shout out to my guys at Sequoia Dental supporting the channel, sequoiadental.com. If you're in Northwest Arkansas and you need a dentist, please go support me. Let them know that you send them. Sequoia Dental. Will and his staff is state-of-the-art dental work. And they do Botox. Fellas, the ladies love their tox. Big A says indefensible loss. That's true. But Arkansas needs a schedule like Missouri. Yeah, Chris, but outside of Baton Rouge, Arkansas is my favorite tailgate town. I love tailgating in Arkansas. Your boy gets litty as a nipple when I am Arkansas, when I'm in Fayetteville. Northwest Arkansas doesn't know what hit 'em when your boy is up there. I get wasted. You would think I was a Kappa Sig. You would think I'm a Sigma Chi. I get Caucasian boy wasted, bro. No, I'm kidding. I don't get that lit, but I can, because it's my homies. That's where my closest friends live. I you would think I'd be wearing Sperry's every day. You would think my name is Tucker or Fletcher. Ooh. Oh man, B Mill. So this is one of my boys I would be wasted with. This is my lifelong friend right here, teammate, blood brother. And I mentioned the group chat that I'm in. Ask B Mill about it. I am in an Arkansas group chat. I'm the only LSU graduate and the only other person in the chat, in the group chat, that's not an Arkansas fan or graduate went to Memphis. So I'm staying away. I'm not even opening the chat for the rest of the day. Not even. It is toxic. It is toxic. Like Britney Spears in her prime. Toxic. Okay, that was kind of cheesy. Know that you're toxic. There's really nothing else I could say. I don't even go live post games. I just had to. Now, from a pure and by the way, B Mill was actually in our halftime show last year, from Fayetteville. So yeah, I mean, I do want to discuss two other things. We're going to do this on the Monday Live, but hmm, I have a good idea who your permanent three are. And to make matters worse, Arkansas fans, you're not going to get LSU on your schedule every year anymore. It sucks. I'm excuse my language. I'm fucking pissed about it. That game means everything to me. Being an LSU fan that played high school football in Arkansas, that game means everything to me. I don't think we're going to keep it. The thing that really held us together. Now you will get to play the game once every 2 years, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, someone that I do trust, who is way up higher on the Arkansas source totem pole. I would even say this person is the most well-connected person in the state of Arkansas. Okay. I talked to him this week, and his guess is Texas, Ole Miss, and Missouri as your permanent three. Okay. So to make matters worse, you're going to lose a game that you guys care about. And part of it is LSU doesn't care about it. If LSU cared about it, you would have it. You would have it. Chris, you can't do that. You can't do it. Chris, you should literally, I should be saying, yeah, come on over. But that's illegal. You know it's toxic. If you were to go into the fan transfer portal, go be a fan of Tulane. You can't be a fan of LSU. Come on. You can't do that. That's being a Yankees fan and say, oh, well, I want to become a Red Sox fan. You can't do that. As much as I would say I should be telling you that, but that's illegal. I would hope it would be the same way coming from this way. My friends would destroy me if I was an Arkansas fan, a pure Arkansas fan. Do I cheer for you guys? Yeah, I cheer for you guys. But you cannot go from that school to that. Okay? No, I'm not letting y'all. You can do whatever the hell you want. But if y'all switch over, do would I like y'all to watch my LSU shit? Yeah, sure. Come on. I'm a solo creator. I'm not going to block you for saying that either. Cam Coleman is so good. I don't know if you're watching the Auburn game in the background. He's so good. But you've got to stand 10 toes down for Arkansas. Or you can do whatever you want. But I'm kind of sad. Like, if y'all are down on your luck, I think I think I would I think I would be fine if you said, hey, I'm an Arkansas fan. Can I be a fan of Missouri? I think that's more acceptable if you were going to say, hey, can I go over and be an LSU fan? You can't do that. Okay, I can't believe two of y'all said that. Any teams need a new fan. I wouldn't go to another SEC school. I don't know. Let me think of a team that has, like, obviously you can't just go be like an Ohio State fan or something like that. I don't know. I would think about, let me think about that. Oklahoma would kind of make sense. A lot of Arkansans live in Oklahoma. You could pull an Isaiah Satania here and go be an Arkansas fan there, but you can't do LSU. And then you have your athletic director. Oh my goodness gracious! Don't get me started on Hunter Yurachek, who I like. I've only had good interactions with Hunter Yurachek. I've had, I think, 5. Chris says, shit, we're on the brink of collapse. On the brink? On the brink? You think you're on the brink of collapse? Huh? Bro, you're already there. You think this is a brink? Shit, you're you're in the core of the earth. If you think you're on the brink, you're there. You've collapsed. I mean, this is a house of cards. I mean, you have already fallen off the bone like a turkey leg. I mean, you are collapsed. This bitch has been detonated for a decade now. Right now, you're just digging through the rubble. I don't. It, this isn't even a top 5 Arkansas collapse. That's the sad thing about it. This isn't even obviously, nothing will come close to baseball. Nothing. Then, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the two baseball games that everybody knows I'm going to say, but then you have Texas Tech in basketball recently. And then obviously 1,000 football ones, BYU to now. There's a gazillion you could point to. There's probably 4 different Texas A&M games worse than this one. It's not I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing. Like, cuz it doesn't seem real. But be honest. When the whole you just knew this was going to happen. All right, it's from a Arkansas booster. Okay, take this for what it's worth. Here's his list. All right, so this guy fine dines with real needle movers. Okay, I could say with good authority that this person has an idea. So obviously, Rhett Lashley would be the most heavily connected. Y'all, it's never the most obvious guy. It's never the most obvious guy. Never. So Lashley's number one. He's probably going to be number one on a bunch of lists. Then you have Joey McGuire at Texas Tech, which would never happen. They're 4-0 and they've got the deepest pockets. So I don't know why he listed him here, but I think you make the call. This is who your next head coach is going to be. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it for you because it's one that would make some sense geographically. And I know this guy would actually do fine at the job. Is John Summerall at Tulane. I've heard some things. Okay. Let me just put it that way. Okay. And I will repeat. There's some things that don't leak unless they want it to be leaked. Okay. Coaching searches is one of them. So when I tell you that Summerall of Tulane has surfaced, then there you go. Now, of course, if you sent this to him, he would say, "Oh, no. I do think there'd be interest." Fran Brown at Syracuse. Big win versus Clemson. Fought admirably versus Tennessee, who's my number 2 ranked power team in the SEC right now. And then at 5-6, he has Bobby Petrino and Gruden. I would seriously consider Bobby Petrino, but the thing is, as a head coach, you can't be in the booth. So, you'll see in the film study when I sign off from this, I really do need y'all to go watch a film study. You will see that in the video I said Bobby Petrino can't leave the door. He is calling plays at such a high level that you have to seriously consider not letting him walk out. I'm not laughing at you, Chris. Trust me. My wife stormed out of here. And we have a party. She is furious. And when Arkansas loses, something won't happen if Arkansas loses. You know the cliche, happy wife, happy life. That also means happy husband if you get what I'm putting down here. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not Adam Schefter or Matt Zenitz or Ross Dellinger when it comes to that stuff, but I'm just a guy with a microphone. Bobby Cobb, what's up, bro? I really don't even know what to tell you. Seriously, though, I might delete my Arkansas group chat. I do not want to see. And we all go through our bouts of sadness. I don't want to be sad. I don't. I don't want to be sad. I try and stay happy. My happiness is when college football is on my screen, and I'm happy right now. Now, I should be on the whole hog. No, not whole hog. I'll be on Woo Pig this week. Shout out Oliver. I love Oliver. Shout out all my people that just do Arkansas media that I've been friends with forever. Ty, who actually was at the game. Trey Biddy, Andrew Hutchinson, John Neighbors, Demetrius Johnson. Tom Murphy is a friend of mine. Smack over. What I would do to read a Bob Holt column right now. I feel bad though for all my Arkansas media friends because they're unbiased, most of them, but they want the team to win. You're. It's hard to. Everybody's based on paid subscribers now. Nobody wants to pay whatever it is. I mean, I have a paid subscription service for Arkansas now. I'm not gaining any subscribers. I've already released my Notre Dame preview. I cut it during the Memphis thing because I'm Superman. So I'll always have my free film studies, but I have the Arkansas membership program. Click the join button and you get a cool insignia next to your name. But, I can't wait to see what this Notre Dame point spread's going to be, though. I can't freaking wait. Ole Miss up on Tulane 10-0. Fran Brown at head coach with Petrino would be interesting. Fran Brown or John Summerall with Bobby Petrino would be interesting. Let's go to Bobby. Why did we refuse to run the ball? It's hard for me to I do think Palmer just kept saying that just to say it, but he was right. You did run the ball at the end. You started running the football versus their light boxes. But I can't really get behind anything offensively towards a negative when you had a 50% success rate and you had a ridiculous amount of explosive plays. I will tell you this as a film study analyst who is a Josh Heupel fanboy. You will not see a better play called offensive game than what Bobby Petrino put out in the first half of this game versus Memphis. Okay. The thing that's really hard, and full disclosure, I've never been on a headset before for like play calls. But and I don't play video games, so a lot of you might be in a better spot to describe this. The hardest thing when calling play calls is sequencing. It's not just which play call did you have, it's how do you sequence the plays. And Bobby is really good at what I like to call play to play sequencing and full game sequencing. And what those two things mean is a play to play sequence is the play you called before or two plays before to a play being run soon after that play. And then game sequencing is when you call something in the first half and you show something similar later, but you're doing something different. This was some of the best play call sequencing I have ever seen, ever. This is Rembrandt. This is Surratt dotting a canvas. It was that artful. That's the thing, Mark. As far as the head coaching search, why would Rhett Lashley leave a cushy job at SMU with unlimited funds? This is from another booster, if you will, at Arkansas. When it comes to donors who are worth over $10 million, SMU has as many of those as basically anyone in the country. Arkansas just doesn't have as many of those. Now, they have big ones. They probably have more billionaire donors than SMU, but, you know, SMU's not letting Rhett Lashley go. It just comes down to if he wants to leave. It's just never the obvious guy, though. Lashley is just too obvious. Okay. Yeah, he should have called the last time out. It was smart because Memphis inexplicably was running the ball and not taking knees. That was the worst. That was one of the worst end of game sequences from the Memphis side of things. Why were they not just taking knees? What was worse was they ran a play, then they took a knee, then they ran another play. What are they doing? Let's go to Brad. What do you do from here? Stay the course to see if Pittman can pull it out? Well, he can't. He won't. You cannot run it back again. You could make a case for running it back with this team. Now, if Arkansas goes on a win streak here, then yeah, you could make a case that Sam Pittman, you could bring him back. Let's say Arkansas, with this really good offense, finds a way to get it done at 9-3. Let's say they go 9-3. Then he returns. 8-4 would also probably save Sam his job. But then again, you have an athletic director who really has wanted a few other jobs. I'll leave it at that. But it is what it is at this point. Don't hire Gruden? I don't know about that. I love me some John Gruden. You'll never hear me badmouth Gruden. I love him that much. Don't you think he's already giving? But yes, the Arkansas billionaire donors, the Waltons, the Tysons, and Jerry, right? I don't know how many grads SMU has on. I would doubt they have any on those three their levels, but SMU has more elite donors than probably Arkansas does. But I didn't get into football to break that down, nor do you watch my channel for that. There's plenty of people who could talk about that better than me. But as far as the what happens in the near future, I do think you ride this out. I know it sucks. You don't want that. I do think you ride it out for a little bit. I don't think you fire him now because you really need to get your buyout plan in order and then get your NIL, whatever you have of it, in order. Hey, one of my LSU folks. Deserst? Don't get me started on Gus. Don't get me started on the Gus bus. Whew. I'm a Gus guy. I am. I am a big Gus guy. I think he would do well here. I do. But I'm just a guy with a microphone and a dream. If they hired Gus, I would work for Arkansas pro bono. Serious. Let the higher ups know. Let the Waltons, let the Dillards, let whoever you want to point to, let them know. I'll come work for Gus pro bono. That's how much I like Gus. If they wanted amateur film study, well, I guess you could say I'm professional at doing YouTube study, but my football knowledge to the actual coaches is amateur. Serious. If you wanted to get into the real nitty gritty with the film study, then you would turn it off. Kevin says, "Screw Gus." Oh. They had the football. I will say, Mark, it would have been nice to see a replay of the actual recovery. So, Roger, I've not done the buyout math yet. If they let Sam finish, do you save $5 million? Hell yeah, $5 million. $5 million is worth it to let him wait out. It's worth it. Look at it this way: Taylon Green is getting $1.5 million, probably $2 million, all in all, to be the quarterback this year, and he's playing really, really, really well. Okay, he's playing really well. $5 million is Taylon Green plus your starting offensive tackles, DBs for a season. This is a players' league. You're probably one Landon Jackson or Drew Sanders away from winning this game. So Yeah, I mean, all those things are being factored in. I'm not done the buyout math. How much is say? I probably should know that. You did lose the turnover battle, but some of that was okay. We'll go over the interceptions. The first Taylon Green interception was really bad. They ran four verts versus cover three, and that's always a simple read. You hit the seam. Now it's not the cleanest throw in the world. You really got to pop it, but it was a good call versus that coverage, and he didn't rip it. He had a few open guys. Now in his defense on that play, the pocket did open up, and you want Taylon rolling out quite a bit. But on rush three, drop eights, you got to pop that. And then on the rollout, you have to know that DB is going to be able to get over there because he thought he had a 2-on-1 with his receivers versus that one corner, and he threw it anyway, and it was a pick. I need to rewatch the second pick because, I mean, he threw it right at someone. I saw Trey Biddy say Jaylen Brown was open. I'll go back and rewatch it. And then, of course, we have the fumble, and you know, it was a good play by the defense, and you just can't fumble in that spot. Yeah, Mark, but you've already gotten over one burn bridge. Oklahoma's not opening no matter what happens because Mateer's good. I don't think he's NFL good. So I think he'll run it back with the Venables. Unless Mateer is a clear-cut first-round QB, which I don't think is going to happen, he'll make $2 million from Oklahoma to stay an extra year, and it saves everybody's job. Auburn's kind of the same thing. You know, if they have a decent season, they'll be able to run it back with Jackson Arnold next year. So what other jobs would be open? I mean, those were two of the hottest seats, and, you know, we'll see what happens with this game. Other than that, everybody's pretty safe. I mean, Stoops is the only other one. I mean, if Alabama falls off, then yeah. But it's probably not going to happen. So you would be the only SEC job open. There's a lot of value in that, or theoretical value. There's no way that Auburn player. Are you kidding me? That is the most selfish thing I've ever seen. He took a punt out from the end zone and returned it to the 2. Oh, no, that's not what happened. He Willie Mays it. Okay, it doesn't look as bad. That's just good punt and good coverage. Would Nick take this job? It would require $15 million a year, and he would need a $30 million a year budget, and then you'd have to overpay for the coordinators, whoever he'd want to hire, which would probably be Bill O'Brien and someone else. I don't know if you want that. Cam Coleman, dude, I get tarred and feathered when I say Cam Coleman is the best receiver in the SEC, outside of Omega Blake, of course. Let's go to DJ Hogg. It's a good point. In fairness, Sam gets his share of the blame, but we give him too much. He's not dropping passes. Okay, so how many drops were there in this game? You had the Omega Blake drop on a perfect throw. The DB made a really good play. Fumbling balls, yeah. I mean, Mike shouldn't have fumbled. Missing tackles, I'll give you that. It was a terrible tackling game. And everything else that's happening. True. But Arkansas is not a mentally tough team. They do not deal with adversity well. And this is where I was wrong. So when you lost the BYU game a few years ago, people were bringing up that Sam Pittman loses a lot of close games. And I was the one that said, hey, it's just bad close game luck. It'll turn itself around positively. And that was a bad take. And I have seen some bad takes. I've made it my fair share. There's one guy who wrote a column in a newspaper who said the internet is overrated. When the internet was invented in like the 80s, there's a guy who penned a newspaper column and said the internet is overrated. And that was the coldest take ever in the history of existence. The coldest take. Yeah, DJ, you need a special coach to come in and break the curse. Mm. All right, y'all. This is where I wanted to end. Ryan Gravenbach is the best midfielder on the planet. Now, if you guys don't mind, all right. So what Liverpool likes to do as a formation, we brought in all these really good midfielders. So we still have Mac McAllister, who is just a good combination of everything. He could shoot, pass, all of that. But you need that traditional number 4 type of defensive midfielder who could play box to box. But Ryan Gravenbach just doesn't do that. He's long, he's lanky. Patrick Vieira wishes he was Ryan Gravenbach. Really good on the ball, also good off the ball, tracks back, dangerous through the air as well. And then on top of that, you add in Florian Wirtz. You add in our new number 9, Alexander Isak from Newcastle. You want to support a team, red and white, rabid fan base, likes to drink a lot? Why not join the Liverpool Army? Because in the world of Power Hour SEC, you'll never walk alone. Come join us. Did you know Darren McFadden's a Liverpool fan? I might have made that up, but it would make sense. I know no one agrees with the Ryan Gravenbach. best midfielder on the planet. We win versus crosstown rivals Everton. I love Everton. I know I shouldn't say that as a Liverpool fan, but they paid for my tab multiple times when the wifey and I went to a Liverpool game and stayed at an Everton hotel. But here's the thing. If you're a Man City fan, please jump into an erupting volcano full of electric eels and Nickelback albums. Please clip your toenails and eat them. Please do yourself a favor and leave. Leave. All right, y'all, that's it for me. If you want to see my Bobby Petrino film study, it is on the Power Hour SEC page. It's also important, of critical importance, to watch one of my favorite film studies I've ever done. It actually was this one. That's how good Bobby called. I'm not kidding you. Steven, don't have that attitude, bro. There's a link. We'll talk to you soon. It is Power Hour SEC. Boom. We'll be live Monday night at 5. And tonight we are doing, my buddy Ross doing an engagement party. So I'll be going to that. And what's happening? Oh, there we go. There you go. Tonight we are doing steaks. Let's go.